How long am I going to talk? 15 minutes, half hour? Did it all that well. My kid, Jacob on our crew, he's pretty good with that stuff. He's kind of keeping me tuned, but I'm just an old guy. But yeah, that Mega, that 100 horsepower, Brad Anderson Enterprise, 471 cubic inch supercharged Hemi comes to life. Dude, there is nothing like that feeling when you suddenly realize, yeah, hell to the yes, I've got my foot on 3,500 horsepower. That's the intro to that song. I love the whole song, don't get me wrong. But what kind of stuff you're interested in, it's great. I love it. I got to listen to more of your podcast, bro.
So now, Chris, what would you consider to be what race was your greatest memory of all time?
Oh, man. Winning it. So, oh, man, I didn't really think about that. I mean, I've had such highs and lows, but there is one race that comes to mind. While winning Indy, the 2014 season was by far our most memorable season. I won a lot of races that season. I won Indy. Everybody, as any drag racer knows, the Indy National Labor Day weekend, the Big Go, as they call it, it's the biggest race of the season. Our team won Indy that season, I think. But I don't remember the guy's name who I beat to win what would be the semis of Charlotte. Maybe that was the quarterfinals. I think that, yeah, because in the semifinals of the makeup race, I'm racing Bill Reichert. I end up winning the makeup race for Charlotte. I win the Maple Grove race, and I secure the national championship. So all in one weekend, I win 2 national events and the championship. It was so overwhelming. I can't even begin to describe it. That's why I can't even explain to you the sequence. That was like 5 years ago. I mean, it's just this big blur of thrill and excitement and challenge. I think, part of it was after we won the Charlotte race, just such a crazy weekend, I can't even begin to describe it. So, and then of all things, to think it's special, and whoever was driving Funny Car, what the heck, Steve Harker, he pulls off the same thing the same weekend. It's like, what are the odds of 2 alcohol drivers pulling off that same thing, winning the makeup race, winning the national event, and securing the national championship all in the same weekend? So, that by far has got to be the greatest event of my weekend. It would be hard to top that.
Wow. So now, Chris, what would you consider to be the milestones of your drag racing career?
Oh, milestones. Of course, my first win, my first actual region or division win at the time, Phoenix 2014. You know what? Let me back up a little bit. After I got my Super Comp license in '98, I got to drive what then was, our alcohol dragster driven by Darren Nicholson in alcohol competition. We took that car out to a couple of the Top Gas West races. Remember I talked about that season?
Yeah.
That group we first raced with, Top Gas West. But they raced on the West Coast. They had changed the rules, so it was no longer Top Gas West. It was just Top. I don't even remember what they called it. Top Drag. No, I forget. Anyway, there was no requirement for gasoline. You could run whatever the heck you wanted. It was a 630 index. So in 2000, I get my license up at Bakersfield, and then there was a Top West or whatever it was called race at some race. I think it was Palmdale Raceway. If anyone has been out to that hellhole, it's not even a drag strip anymore. And I don't mean to say hellhole. It was the best thing, closest thing to my house, but it could get hot out there, right next to a rock quarry. Anyway, it is a rock quarry now. But so I get to drive our alcohol dragster in a 630 index class, and I would drive the thing to the 1,000-foot mark and lift and coast across the finish line. And the thing would run like a 635, 640. And if you're just learning to drive a car that's fast, you don't have a lot of situational awareness. The cones are flying by you on one side, the other side, the scoreboard. Well, anyway, there was at 1,000 foot along the side of one of the lanes was a pick your part sign. And if anybody knows what pick your part, it's one of those junkyards where you can go in and pull your own pieces out as necessary. And the logo was a giant octopus. And this octopus had parts and tools in all 8 of his tentacles. And it was a very recognizable symbol. I would drive to at 1,000 foot was this pick your part octopus sign. So I was driving to the octopus, right? As soon as I saw the octopus, lift, run a 540 or 640 or so. Anyway, that first event, I win. So my very first racing competition, I stumble into a victory. It was just the most incredible thing. So that was kind of memorable. And then on with that, as a crew guy, just learning everything. That our win in Indy with Darren Nicholson driving, that was a huge thrill. That was our team's first national event win. And to have that first win at Indy, that was incredible. Darren, love you. Haven't talked to you in a while, bro. Hope things are well with you and Julie. But anyway, so beyond that, once I got to start driving, winning my first my first division race in Phoenix, that was cool. We went on to, I won not a lot, but I was pretty good at the divisional level. I could not win a national event. We just could not pull down that victory in the final round at national events. I think I went to 9 national event finals and lost before I finally won my first national event. That came at the Pomona Winter Nationals 2010. It was, I believe, the 50th anniversary for the Winter Nationals. Couldn't have picked a better time for a first national event win. Adam Rhodes was helping us out at the time. My hat's off to Adam. That guy knows how to tune one of these cars. He and I just had a thing together. We took that and parlayed it into a whole lot of wins. But that first national event win to stop being the bridesmaid just turned the corner in my mind. I used to get to those final rounds and I just didn't know how to act. Let's put it that way. I'm sure I'd have bad lights, tune up and be wrong. Probably more often than not, it was me, the train monkey, screwing up in the final. But Adam gave me the confidence that we had what it took to win a national event. And we parlayed that. I think I got like 20 national events now. But anyway, that was a big one. The whole story I gave you at Maple Grove, that was cool. But yeah, no, it's been a long and good time. I just try to have fun and win or lose, enjoy it. There's no place else I'd rather be. I try to realize that even there are times when you forget your position in life, and I'll forget the beautiful and wonderful and special opportunity I've been given to drive one of these cars. It is a thrill beyond comparison. That there are people that give their left, to drive one of these cars, men or women, And I've been blessed with this opportunity, so I try as best I can to share that thrill with those that don't have this opportunity. If you've ever seen me after a win, they pull us up in the return road, make us stop to do interviews and stuff. I take that trophy over and let the people, all the fans that are standing on the fence, let them touch and hold that Wally to see what it is to hold a Wally. It's not just a picture that you see in the paper or something you see on TV. That Wally is real. It has mass. To grab that thing and feel how heavy it is and to hold it up over your head. I love sharing that. If I can give back. If I can give back just a portion to those that pay to come watch this race, if I can give just a small inkling of the thrill I feel, then that's what I'm trying to do. Because I've been, like I said, been given such a special and blessed opportunity.
Right.
So,
well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So you ready for the fun question segment now?
Okay, sure.
No. Outside of drag racing, Chris, do you have any hobbies?
I love jet skiing. I stand up jet ski. Real jet skiing to me, I don't ride butt skis. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my ass, but that is what it is. I know jet skiing or riding, Sea-Doos and all that stuff has become more popular, but I started riding stand-up jet skis back in the late 80s, and it's kind of gone by the wayside. I still got mine in the backyard, haven't ridden them in 3 years. I miss it so much, that feeling of being on, it's like water skiing, but going where you want. That fun of sliding a stand-up jet, because it's a flat bottom, you can turn that thing sideways and skid it, and I learned to sub it. I never got as good as I wish I could have, but I got pretty damn good at jet skiing, and that would have been one of my biggest hobbies beyond drag racing. Now I've gotten old and lazy. Now I just have a boat, so I can just sit there and enjoy the water. But if I ever get a hair up my ass, I'll get those jet skis going again. Used to dirt bike ride, never competitively or motocross. Just trail riding, going out in the desert. I used to ride a lot out in that area where they just had the earthquake in Trona, and on that area. But as far as hobbies inside, I'm kind of a computer nerd. I love hardware and software. Jerry's got me working on programmable logic controllers, PLCs, right now, which is really cool. It's an aspect of computing I hadn't really gotten into, writing ladder logic instead of writing code. And I know I'm really exposing the nerd side of me right now, but that kind of is a hobby / make some money on the side thing. And searching around trying to think. Yeah, that's about it. Those are my big things.
All right. So now, in top alcohol dragster racing, do you have a greatest competitor?
Joey Severance. That was not hard. I love that guy. Behind him would have been Jim Whiteley. The old Jimmy. Jimmy's a great guy. But we've had some contentious things going on, and all I got to say from that, don't piss off a millionaire. Why? Because when he quit alcohol racing, he had won the championship. So what was it? Reichert won up to 2011. He won the championship up to 2011. Jim Whiteley won it in 2012 and 2013. He quit racing and went alcoholic. He went pro mod. What did he do? Turned around and gave all his motors to Joey Severance because he didn't want me to win anymore. But, it is what it is. You just got to get over that. Love Jim and Annie, great bunch of people. And, I'm thrilled that they've kept with drag racing at the level they have, sponsoring the Pro Mod series and everything. That is an expensive category. And I wish him luck, and hopefully he can. I know he and his son, Steven, have been very successful, and I wish him luck in the future that they can step it up and maybe pull down the championship themselves. But, behind Joey, and don't get me wrong, Joey's an awesome guy, owns a track up there in Woodburn. It's a great place. I'd love to race up there more. As I see, he always texts me, "Hey, are you coming to Woodburn?" I'm like, "Sorry, bro, I'm back in Indy, or I'm back east somewhere." But hopefully I'll get to make it up to Woodburn again sometime. Our team was pretty successful in Woodburn. I think I won it once and run it up there twice. Our last outing up there wasn't so successful. I think we smoked the tires every run, including first round. Left a bad taste in our mouth. But sometime we'll get back up to Joey's track. So, yeah, I'd have to say Joey be my main competitor. He's a tough character. I think I beat him around earlier this season. I don't think I had beat that guy in 3 years or so. His first so I won the championship in 2014. We took it down to the wire in 2015. Him and I, those last couple of races, both teams tried as best they could to give the championship to the other guy. It was kind of funny how bad we could step on our dicks. But, in the end, Joey pulled it out. My hat's off to him. And, he's turned it into three. So that was 15, 16, 17, 18. How many does that make? 15, 16, 17. He's got 4 championships. Jeez. Somebody's got to come along and dethrone that guy. Yeah. I think this year it's going to be Cowie or maybe Megan Meyer. Cowie, he got Norm Grimes. And Cowie he's a pretty good driver. The guy is challenged by, I'm sure everybody's heard the story how he got in an accident. And he's got physical limitations. He is doing the best he can, but, the guy is challenged with cutting the light and so forth. But by hiring Norm Grimes, there's different things that can help a team. You can spend a lot of money on motor, but somebody's got to tune it. The driver can work on his stuff and he can get consistent. But anyway, with them getting Norm Grimes on their team, Norm Grimes is top alcohol dragster guru. He kind of like Steve Boggs in Funny Car. Norm Grimes is the master of alcohol dragster. And by putting that man, turning the knobs on that car for Cowie, that gives them as good a chance as anybody. And I look to see Cowie possibly pull out the championship. This puts me in a headlock or something. But when he had to drive the car, it took away from his tuning ability. And whether or not he recognizes that, I certainly did. But once he stepped out of the car and can give his all to tuning that car, those cars are very challenging. And especially on a run where it's first run of the day, he gets all night to lick on that motor and think about it and make it just nice and happy. And if I don't know if other people notice, on any given day, throughout the course of a race weekend, that first run of that day, whether it be Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, that car's going to rip off probably quickest run of the weekend. But so Randy Meyer Racing and whoever's driving those cars, they have a great advantage. So while I can't, while Megan's challenging, if you talk about other racers, I got to worry about team wise, it's Randy Meyer Racing. They are a formidable force, and I look to them to maybe pull out a championship. If anybody's going to dethrone Joey, it's going to be one of those guys, one of those teams. So.
All right, now, Chris, if you were able to do time traveling and go backwards in time, would you do anything differently with the drag racing career?
Oh, first and foremost, I wouldn't crash. Those 2 times I crashed. Who knows why? The law of unintended consequences and the butterfly effect. But I'd go back and rethink myself those 2 times I wadded those cars because that was just stupid. Now, in hindsight, the one time I crashed, my first crash, that got us into another chassis, and that chassis taught us something. This last crash of mine, oh my God! If I had to time travel, that'd be the one I'd go back and change. Of course, all the final rounds or any of the rounds I lost on a hole shot. The hole shots are funny. Anytime I see a driver nowadays who loses on a hole shot, and I'm down there in the shutdown area, and they've got that dejected look of, boy, just cut my ball, whatever. Just kill me here and now. I tell them, hey, give it a half hour. That's about what it takes. A half an hour to come off the cliff and realize, you screwed up, but life goes on. Learn from it. Remember it. Try to use what you just learned the next time you're up at the starting line. So, it's funny you asked that. What would I change? Because where I sit and where I am now, I am the most spoiled, most privileged guys around. While I say these things I'd like to change, yeah, if I had that ability, but I got no problem with how it's all gone down and where it is right now. I love drag racing, and I can't wait to, next time I get to strap into that car and go 0 to 60 in 0.9 seconds. I get the half track and on a good run, half track I'm going over 220 miles in 3.4 seconds, 0 to 220 in 3.4 seconds, and of course getting to the top end at 270 plus in 5.2 seconds. Dude, there's nothing nothing comes close.
All right, now, most embarrassing moment on the track.
I don't know if there's one particular thing. Well, once again, crashing. It's not my best moment. I think doing stupid stuff. There's been maybe twice in my career I've launched from the starting line in high gear. These alcohol dragsters are 3-speed transmissions. You gotta make sure you put that thing back in low gear when you do the burnout in high. And I'm just to clarify that, you do the burnout in high gear, 3rd gear. Come to a stop. Pull the buttons out on the steering wheel, put it back in low, and back up. If I got criticized, or not, I don't know about criticized, but I was one of the first guys to put drag racing in-car camera views on YouTube back when it first came out in 2006. I got an in-car camera. It was pre-GoPro. It was a little Samsung handheld recorder that recorded to a little SD card. And anyway, that was key because if you've ever used an old VHS or tape player near a drag car, it doesn't work. The noise, the electromagnetic interference, just wipes out the picture. So recording to an SD card did it. So I put this thing on there, and I did, all kinds of camera views. Kevin and I, we were like directors. We were putting that camera in all kind of different views. If you go on YouTube and search on Demke, some of my old stuff from 2006 and 2007 is really pretty funny, pretty cool. But anyway, the in-cockpit view, looking at the cockpit as I do a burnout and back up, you will watch me pull those buttons out on the steering wheel probably a bazillion times, and people they would ask me, why are you pulling the buttons out so much? I'm like, you don't even know. You just got to make sure this car is in first gear because you'll forget. And anyway, when back to you talking about a routine when I get in the car and all that stuff, one of the things, I have a little hand motion and eye motion as I'm going through making sure that, power's off at the point, the buttons are in high gear, ready for burnout. ignition is killed, fuel is on. I have this little rotation, kind of like a pilot does in an airplane as he's scanning his eyes. I'm doing it with my hands over and over. It's almost ridiculous. Just because that's how embarrassing it was for me the 2 times I launched in high gear. What a meathead. Anything else? You kind of caught me off guard. I bet if I think long and hard enough, I could come up with some pretty ridiculous stuff. But I've probably put it out of my mind because it's too embarrassing. But yeah. You know what's a good one? Brainerd, Minnesota, regional event, 2010. I think it was. We're pulled up the starting line. I next pair, and the guy in front of me oils down the track, and we're sitting there. It's a regional division race. They weren't the quickest at cleaning stuff up. It's a little hot, and I had to take a leak, dude. Like you can't even imagine. It just got worse. And if anybody knows me, when we pull up the staging lanes, you'll always see me run over to the bathroom and go take a leak because there is nothing worse than being strapped in one of those cars and having to take a pee. And if you want to cut a good light, that's counterintuitive because you're not focused on the tree. You're focused on going to the bathroom. So I will always try to go take care of business before I got a race. Anyway, Brainerd, Minnesota, semifinal rounds. I think I was either racing Ed Schmeickel or Ed was the car in front of me who oiled down the track. I'm sitting there. They're cleaning up I got to go. I can see a porta potty 200 feet off to the left. Adam comes over. I only wave my Adam. They're taking their time out there cleaning the track. Do you think I got time to go take a leak? Because I got to go bad. He's like, all right, bro, go ahead. So there's nothing going on. It's a division race. But there's fans on the stand. The announcer's making a big thing. The announcer has come down to the starting line and is interviewing people and so forth. He's walked around and stuff, but I get out of the car. I don't take my helmet off, and I get out and I run over to the porta potty, go in there and take a pee. I'll tell you what. I didn't take my helmet off. I didn't take my helmet off. It was hard as hell taking a pee and not being able to see what I was doing. But while I'm in there, of course, I could hear the announcer talking about it to everybody. About, Chris Demke clearly had to use the facilities, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking every person in those stands in the staging lanes is dying laughing because the announcer's making a big thing about me taking a pee. That had to be a pretty embarrassing moment. So, yeah, you got me there with that one. So, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. All right, so this question should be easy enough for you. What's your favorite food to eat?
Food. In-N-Out burger. I love me some In-N-Out. Let's see. If any, I don't know if you noticed, I've lost 25 pounds over the last 9 months. I'm on not on so much on a diet. I'm on a new lifestyle. I turned 55 a year ago, and or actually back in January. I'm trying to take care of myself. So back in September, I started a new regimen of eating right, exercising, and it's showing dividends. And I've lost 25 pounds. And anyway, I don't get to eat much In-N-Out anymore. Used to be a staple of my diet. If you looked at me a year ago, that wouldn't sound too out of place. But I love In-N-Out. I miss it, but I do cheat and I don't even call it cheating. I earn the right to go have an In-N-Out burger every now and then. It's one of the best burgers. I know people on the East Coast like to talk about Five Guys versus In-N-Out. It doesn't come close. In-N-Out hands down. I like a Habit burger as well, but once again, In-N-Out takes the cake. So I'd have to say that's my favorite food, certainly.
Now, does your girlfriend cook?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So what's your favorite dish that she makes?
Oh, she makes a damn good pork chop. We got one of those air fryers. Some good friends of ours, Sam and Debbie, gave us an air fryer about a year or so ago. And we went crazy with it. It was like a 2-quart air fryer. Well, Cookie went out and bought a 5-quart air fryer. And then she got me like the Easy Bake Oven model that you can look in the front, has rotisserie. I'm a little out of control with the whole air frying thing. But Cookie has learned to do a great job air frying. She cooks a great pork chop, some pork chop and applesauce. I don't eat that a lot. As I said, I'm on this new way of eating that is much more conducive to losing weight. And tonight we had some salad with, what was it? She air fried up some chicken breast, sliced that up and put it in the salad. Oh, it was delicious. And I'm so appreciative of her feeding me the way she does. She makes all kind of things, but like I said, those are some of the good things. Oh, you know what? Her and I do a wonderful taco night. Well, in fact, we did that last night. I try not to do that too often either, but yeah. Anyway, I didn't eat very many. Sometimes I used to pig out and eat a whole lot of tacos. Last night I kept it down to 2 with some. She's really good at guacamole. I take it up a notch with the guacamole, but yeah, we make some damn good tacos. We had tacos last night, and they were really, really, really good.
Well, it was Taco Tuesday.
It was Taco Tuesday. That's right. I didn't even catch on to that till now. Sometimes we're having them whenever, but you're right. We did a Taco Tuesday last night. It was well worth it.
All right. So, what's your favorite beverage to drink?
Oh, I'm a Coors Light guy. So if I'm just at the races, I don't mind Coors Light. I used to be a computer engineer where I worked for a computer company, and those selling computers. You go out with those people, go out for a beer, and they all want to have some micro brew, some thick beer that you can't see through, and that I just never had a palate for that. But what I started drinking was Blue Moon. Hey, it's made by Coors, right? And it's really tasty. They usually have it at these other places. I would have to go to places with customers and so forth. But you would get no respect if you drank a Coors Light in front of those people. So I started drinking Blue Moon. I love Blue Moon. Cookie and I, we were up racing in Denver one weekend, and after racing on, I think it was before racing. It was really tough. We went to the Coors Brewery on Friday morning before qualifying that evening. I had to go through this brewery and not drink. Believe me, that was a challenge. But Cookie, yeah, she threw down a few. And in that process, we learned that we had already liked Blue Moon. We found out that Blue Moon was a Coors product, which was a wonderful thing. So, yeah, I would say that's kind of my favorite beer. Not much of a hard alcohol drinker, but Cookie has gotten me into drinking wine. I know wine and drag racing maybe don't go together, but I'm kind of getting into drinking Cabernet and stuff like that, and I don't want to talk too much about that side of my palate, but yeah, I've kind of gotten into drinking wine. So it is what it is. Any of you wine haters, go ahead and hate.
So what's your favorite non-alcoholic beverage?
So I love soda water. So I drink some Pellegrino, not so much Perrier, but my little sister Amy, she bought me this thing a couple years ago, gave me a soda stream, and it lets me, I can make my own soda water. So, you just take some water out of my bottled water thing, stick this thing up, pump some CO2 in it, bam, instant soda water. So what I do, I make a glass of ice and soda water, and I pour a splash of pomegranate juice in it. And it's a little bitter, a little sour for some people, but I love it. Nice, low-calorie, refreshing drink with some antioxidants. And, that's kind of my drink of choice. If I have all the right ingredients, is almond soda water. That's my go-to.
All right. Now, favorite cartoon growing up as a kid?
No, hands down, Speed Racer. No, I'm sorry. Wait, before I don't even... God, that's like, what do you call that? That wasn't... Well, I did love Speed Racer, but I just put it on my Facebook page. Roadrunner and Coyote. I stumbled across that Roadrunner Coyote drag racing video. And so I put that up there. But, man, what a Freudian moment there or whatever where I spew out Speed Racer. I did love Speed Racer. So, yeah, that must mean something. That's got to mean something that, yeah, I do love Speed Racer to this day.
Right.
So, you know what I also like? This is kind of goofy. It's on, I think, Comedy Central or whatever. C-Lab 2021. It's on, what is that crazy late-night show where they have all that robot chicken and all that stuff? C-Lab 2021, kind of some twisted humor, but that's my latest current. Cookie does not like cartoons, so since her and I bought a house and live together, I'm really cartoon challenged these days, so I got my TiVo picking up all the C-Lab 2021s so I can get my C-Lab fix when she's not around.
Is that on Adult Swim?
Adult Swim, that's it, exactly, Adult Swim. C-Lab 2021 and Robot Chicken were two of my favorites on that. So, yeah, I do have a kind of a nutcase side to me if I like that stuff. But.
All right, so what's your favorite movie of all time?
Pulp Fiction. I can just about quote lines ad nauseum from that. I love Tarantino, wonderful producer, and but yeah, Pulp Fiction is a great movie. It is my top movie. Cookie and I'll be flipping through. I'm always flipping through the channels, and I stop at these random movies, and she say, "Oh, your favorite movie? Oh, that's your favorite movie? Haha, no." I'll say that's in my top 10, and I probably have about 25 movies that account for my top 10. But all-time favorite, Pulp Fiction. Yeah. Quarter pounder with cheese? Nope. What is it? A Royale with cheese. Isn't that how it goes?
Something like that. Now on a race day at the track, do you eat lightly, or do you eat regularly, or don't eat till after the races are done?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I used to not pay too much attention to that. And just to go back to the history of the reaction time capability of driver Chris Demke, it was nothing stellar. When I first started driving, I had a habit of not deep staging, but rolling in deep. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but in eliminations, I'd take a bite on the tree, or on the starting line, to get a better reaction time and get yourself closer to the finish line. But Adam Rose, when he started tuning the car, he said, "Yeah, no, that's not how it works, buddy. you need to shallow stage each and every time, because you're going to get a better. We're going to get a better ET." So going into eliminations, if we're up against somebody who's challenging, yeah, take a little bite. But other than that, you learn to stage that car shallow, and that's how it goes. And that really exposed my lack of ability to cut a light. And so I've tried a variety of all kinds of methods and mechanisms and mental images, and you name it, I've probably tried it. If anybody's got any new ideas, give me some hints. But over the time, I've got it down to where I can fairly regularly be a sub 050 guy on the tree. I call that about a C. This year, I'm doing much better, and I'm actually keeping track of it. I had little issues the last couple races, but by the time it mattered, I was back in the 20 and 30 range. And part of it is I'm exercising a lot more, part of my new health regime. But how else could I ignore the fact that I eat different? And I not so much lunch and dinner, of course that matters, but I'm seeing a huge. I don't have enough data yet to say this is conclusive or not. It's still just collecting data. But depending on what I eat for breakfast, will determine how my reaction times are the rest of that day. There are, of course, other factors that come into play. But if I can keep my breath, I don't want to give away my stuff, my tools, what I got going for me right now. What I have for breakfast there seems to be a correlation between what I eat for breakfast and how my reaction times will be that day. That's all I'm going to say about that.
All right, now for people listening in that want to find out where you're going to be racing and all that good stuff, what's the best way to follow you?
I hate to say it, I have not been very active with racing on social media lately. Used to a lot back in the 2012 to 2015 range, but it's faded off. I need to get back into that, but I would say my Facebook page, Chris Demke. We have a Modern Racing page. I hate to say it, we really don't. We need to get on top of our social media management. I hate to say there's not really a good place to find out. Right now, if you want to look at Kevin Watson, our crew chief, or Jacob Carson and Tim Bucher, any three of those guys looking at their Facebook page could maybe give you a hint as to where we'll be going. I am going to try to step it up and do a better job. Our new guy, Jacob Carson, he's younger and more in tune with social media and how it works, and kind of speaks the lingo. And he's a great photographer. I'm seeing him pull off some great pictures of the car at sunset and stuff, and he's got like Photoshop on his phone and stuff. I'm getting old, man. I can't keep up with some of the stuff. But anyway, I'm looking to maybe have Jacob take over that whole social media role and kind of keep the fans and friends up to date on where we expect to go. Now, you can't ask us today where we're going to be 2 months from now, because we just don't know, right? This team, we kind of go with the flow. Where do we need to be racing? Where are we with parts? And 1 year, we tried to come up with a schedule at the beginning of the season, and it lasted about 3 races, right? Until we diverged and started going all over wherever the hell we wanted. Jerry, the team owner, just is not a guy to follow a schedule. He kind of goes with his whim, and what needs to be done. And you know what? It's not a bad thing. It makes it hard for me to plan a vacation, or it's hard to tell Cookie, hey, we can go here on this day. I missed one of my best friend's wedding a couple years ago, and they'll never they joke about it, but I know it would have meant something if I'd have been there. But anyway, if you check Madden Racing's Facebook page, my Facebook page, Jacob Carson, I'm hoping to have better information available sooner rather than later. So I can't give you anything conclusive right now, but other than, what I'm going to right now, well, so even right now, I'm saying we're shooting for Brainerd middle of August. I'm going to give that a percentage of 75, 80%. 80% chance we'll be at that race, right? Bowling Green the weekend after that, hey, that's in our region that we're competing in. I would call that 60, 70%, but if that wasn't our region, being it's our region and we've talked about it, and another fact, we try to hit one new event every year, hit a track we've never been to. We tried to do that in New Orleans or Baton Rouge or whatever that one racetrack down in Louisiana. We tried to hit that one earlier this season, but it got rained out and couldn't make the rescheduled date. So we haven't been to a new place yet. So that puts high probability on going to Bowling Green in Kentucky the weekend before Indy. So those 3 races are what's on our radar right now. I couldn't really tell you anything beyond that other than Pomona Finals, right? That's our home track, Pomona, so almost 100% chance you're going to see us at Pomona Winter Nationals and Pomona Finals. So.
All right. Well, Chris, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do an interview tonight. And you have any final words or thank yous you want to do before we close?
No, I just want to thank you. I honestly have not done any media like this in some time. My career's kind of been lagging in that way, shape, and form. But when you contacted me and asked me to do this, I can't tell you how excited I was. I love talking, as you can tell. Kind of went a little long on this one, but it's tough to shut me up, right? Yeah. So, no, I just want to thank you, Dave. I didn't do it on purpose, just ran out of time. We could talk about trained monkeys and bananas.
All right.
So, all right, buddy. Take care. Thank you so much.
You have a great night, buddy.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.